Okay, it looks like I am live. Welcome everyone, I'm Dollar3. I was really hoping to show this game off in a video, but editing out my video software means I'm not going to be able to get much of a chance to do so. Still, I'm really glad to try and show this off in some way because I really think it does deserve it. Welcome everyone. This is El Paso Elsewhere. Only came out last year, to be fair. It popped up in my radar from a couple of mentions, and I saw it and I was like, I'm down. I'm down for a little bit of Max Payne style gameplay, but then what I got out of the game wasn't so much Max Payne as it was a really, really good story. Really, really good. I severely enjoyed this. Now, I've mentioned before that this is going to be fairly structured. There's going to be things that I do want to show off. There's going to be things that I don't want to show off. But I will play through the full game over the course of a number of streams. So I do have very fixed points about where exactly I would like to cut things off. That being said, I don't think there's a really good way to show off anything else aside from just diving right into things. You can see here this is version 0.16. Stuff like the theater mode, I don't remember this in the initial release. Hello Martin, hello. I have been trying to get chat up and running for the last couple of hours and I've had absolutely no luck getting chat up and running. I think there's something I'm gonna have to maybe redo the whole settings on my overlay. I have to work things out. Anyway, I've got more time to play around with that. Now, let's see if I've still got this. By the way, I'm going to let all the cutscenes play out and I'm not going to talk over any of the cutscenes. I think they're that important. So, let's dive right into things. Oh, I should mention, don't worry about modifiers. You can do modifiers if you want to make things easier for yourself, but you don't have to. See? Don't worry about any of that. Why is it doing this? Actually, this is a bit unusual. Hold on, come on. Here we go. That's what's different. They moved the modifiers menu a little bit. No wonder why I was getting thrown off. Again, the knowledge of where the modifiers menu is from the original release compared to where it is now really throwing me off. I'll just ignore all the modifiers though. Alright, now let's actually get into things.
I tell myself it was always going to be a one-way trip. That's what love is. It's a trip between who you were and whatever the hell you become next. So let's take it from the top. Like a jazz standard. Play it in our own time. As loud as we dare.
And that's our very first intro into what are effectively the Max Payne style elements of this game. Now this is just tutorial.
Okay, she'll have hostages. Gotta look for the light. I'll go. And she'll have monsters. Dive, focus. I can take them down faster.
Alright, so...
pills. I'll need more. As many as it takes. I'll pick up more supplies as I go. Got pills. It's Texas. Of course they'll have guns. Haven't thought about these since Sunday school. Intrusive. Delirious imagery with a terrifying truth. What else? Think, James, prepare. Stakes. Close the distance. Drive a stake through the heart. Break what I have to. Get more stakes. So I can stake. And stake. And stake.
So, this game, I really enjoy it. Hold on.
What?
Nothing. I just wasn't ready to say goodnight yet. Fuck. The pharmaceutical cocktail I put together vibrates at the back of my skull. Shifts my system into overdrive. I could take anything but a tank shot to the chest right now, but that comes with a cost. My body's going to give it out at some point, and it's going to hurt. One-way trip. I picture the pills in the bag with the pills and taking the pills in the bag with... It feels inevitable. A Nickelodeon on a loop. Courtesy of an addict's chemistry. I'm the addict, by the way. Hi. Max is Dracula, Lord of the Vampires. 15 miles from here, in a tiny motel in El Paso, Texas, she's conducting a ritual that will end the world as we know it. It's what she always wanted, even when she said she didn't. If I don't save the people she's taken or kill the things she's conjuring from the void as we speak, the world dies today. I threw away 6 months and 11 days of being sober for a chance to save the world. 98% of me is screaming in pain or exultation, glad for an excuse to fall. And the last tiny fraction, that's you. I need you to believe that I'm not going to open that trunk, that I'm going to get back into this car on the count of 3 and stop my ex before she destroys us all. I need to know that you believe, so I can too. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Well, my name is James Savage. Here's to believing.
Okay, and cutscene is done. Alright, so Martin, how do I feel about this
Clark
game?
being gone isn't a good sign.
I have very much
Gotta get to the
enjoyed
elevator.
this.
If nothing above ground has been affected yet, I might actually have a shot.
Now, there are things, just in case you're curious, there are things that I will show off with this game and there are things that I will not. But I do have some very intended things that I would like to do. Now, a lot of this game is about just simply moving through each level, making your way to the exit, and clearing mandatory requirements along the way. Some things exist in the game as a little bits of lore. For example, you have tape recorders here, or little radios, and I could play this. I might demonstrate just this once, what the radio plays.
Previously on Bill Cop.
The club was lit up like a Christmas tree. Cheap neon paint on the cracked facade of a broken neighborhood. My badge wouldn't get past the dress code, but it didn't need to. Where God closed the door, the devil was waiting next to a window with a rictus smile and a brownstone brick. I gave a nod of recognition on my way in.
Okay, so that's the sort of thing that the radio will play out.
The show's still on the air, but it ended in the 90s.
It will play out in the same sense that, you know, the radios give little bits of fun information or radio shows or stuff like that. For the purposes of this playthrough, they're not that important. I'll focus on another type of media that appears in the game. Now, the other thing you'll have run into...
You here against your will?
Did mistress bring you here to shame me?
Oh, I'm very clearly in the wrong place.
There are people in here who you do interact with, but only in a very limited way. Elevators always serve as your exit point. That's where you need to get to complete a level.
Oh shit. This is bad.
And welcome to the Void. This is where we'll be spending pretty much the whole game. Now, a couple of things.
Okay, ceiling's gone.
Ceiling being gone is actually part of the
Gotta save
mechanics.
Broccoli's victims before they're sacrificed.
And as James is talking about here, there are human victims in here who you can save. Well, you either save them or you can, kind of get rid of them. Hostages are indicated by the pillars of light. The fact that there's no roof allows you to see where the hostages are and how many there are remaining. In this first level, there are 2 hostages. Once you rescue all the hostages, then you are free to move on to the elevator and exit the level. Gameplay itself will be fairly standard.
Whole floor's changing around me. Gotta look out for that.
Oh, and you can stake multiple opponents at one time. Alright, bullet time is determined by your yellow meter. That's how much bullet time you have.
What fucked up that vase?
Oh yes. Also, there's no auto reload unless you enable it from the settings, but you can. See, you can kill hostages if you want
Sure,
to.
time and space aren't supposed to be doing that.
In fact, in speedruns, it's
Really's
probably
breaking
quicker
down
to
behind
kill
me.
the
Need to
hostages.
look for the light. Get the fuck back to the elevator.
Oh, by the way, I'm about to die. Yep, there we go. So, when you die, you respawn back at the previous checkpoint. In this case, checkpoints spawn after every hostage or when you enter into a certain level, or a certain part of the level.
Reality's breaking down behind me. Need to look for the light. Get the fuck back to the elevator.
Now, it's unfortunately a shame that we're stuck with these pistols at the start. The pistols aren't great. You get a couple of levels in before we get a slightly better weapon. Also, the music cutting out over time is intentional.
More pills.
Yeah, even the sound cutting out is intentional. Also, elevators are indicated. So this game was made actually last year. Oh, there we go. Sorry, I got a little distracted answering the question. This game came out September last year, actually. So it's only been pretty recent.
Need to look for the light. Get the fuck back to the elevator.
Now, I have to admit, I'm normally used to playing this game on controller. I don't really play on keyboard. So the bindings are throwing me off. Yeah, by the way, enemies do hit like an absolute truck. So this is what makes the early levels particularly challenging, especially when you're stuck with just pistols. Later on, as you start getting more and more weapons, things become a lot easier to handle. Although they start throwing more weapons at you, but they also throw more enemy types at you. Yeah, the pistol reload is really kind of slow. Unfortunately, not much you can do about that. Alright, almost there. Thankfully, exits are always lit up in a reasonable way. So here we go. Door opens up and in we go. That is a basic level in this game.
I'm gonna have to dive through this. Leap like a fucking circus animal. Oh, this is gonna be a fucked up day.
Alright, how many do I have? 1, 2 hostages. I think maybe there are 3 hostages in this level.
Out of ammo.
Hoping to find some stakes. Ah. Getting a little rusty on this game. But that's fine. Well, I do have 1 stake. Okay. Yeah. Especially early on in this game, you have to use bullet time to really sort of help you out. It's unfortunate. They've drawn a lot of... So the developers, in terms of gameplay, they've drawn a lot of mechanics from Max Payne. So things like the use of pills as your healing item, and the use of and the story mechanisms to explain why pills are your healing item. By the way, here we go. This is going to be... But if there's one thing to say, I don't know how well the game exactly carries its... The gameplay itself is only average. I'm going to be honest. It's kind of like average in some ways. So you've seen the use of the bullet time mechanic, and you know, it's nice, it's useful, and there are points where they do draw into it, such as here in this hallway. But it's basically just like, it's not always needed. Ah, press the wrong button. Let me get out of here, out of here. Ah, jeez. Alright, bullet time recovers when you're actually using... when you inflict damage to enemies.
Break-proof windows. Where do you come from?
So, as I deal more damage to enemies, you...
Oh, should I come back
Oh,
later?
sorry. I didn't mean to interrupt you there, buddy. Yeah. Bullet time is frustrating to deal with.
Break-proof windows. Where do you come from?
Alright, there we go. Finally.
Or should I come back later?
Shots are hitting the door. There we go. Done. Come on, controls. Why you do this to me? Alright. Honestly, I'm half tempted to... I might make one quick setting change. Might turn on auto reload. I think it's one of those quality of life changes that probably should be in the game. Alright, here we go. 1. Yeah, from the gameplay, headshots are always indicated by red. And do typical headshot damage. Okay, let's move on then. One hostage. That actually be... There might only be 2 hostages.
Duck away. What did you do?
Thankfully, you can always run to the elevator and not have to defeat every enemy in your path. It's just about the
I've seen the
hostages.
impossible before. My specialty was folklore. I was a researcher. That's how me and Dracula met. I've tackled golems and will-o'-the-wisps. A leprechaun took a chunk out of my leg once. This isn't that. Those vampires had wrappings. Like a mummy. There's a reason pharaohs would have their servants killed to join them in death. It was a circle. With the right incantations, the pharaoh or noble was supposed to become undead royalty, and their servants the personification of hunger. Drinking but never satisfied, they'd gather and vomit gallons of blood a day so that their masters could bathe in the spoils. Two types of vampires originating in the cradle of civilization. The feeding and the fed. That pattern was supposed to have died out 1,000 years ago. Vampires changed, became more sophisticated. Like her. I don't know how to describe a smell 1,000 years old being fresh. But Dakole, what she's doing, it's torn a hole through the inner tube of reality. I'm here just in time to watch the air drain out.
So, a little bit of lore in the game. This game does a lot of lore. It shows a lot of lore and it tells a lot of lore. Both in the actual levels and outside of the levels. 2 stakes.
Sure, more's the merrier. Need to find another way.
Okay, 1, 2. Yeah, this level's definitely got a lot of hostages in it. Not much we can do about that. We've just got to kind of move on and hope to find them all.
The fact that these creatures are ravenous and acting on that hunger probably means that Dakole isn't controlling them directly. She's the ringmaster, but I'll bet you $20 that this circus is running itself. I wonder if she knows.
Now, here we go.
Barry win the bet.
First new weapon. That's shoddy. Shoddy works in the typical shoddy way. You reload after every shot. Thankfully, this thing's got an 8-round magazine capacity. Or an 8-round magazine. Too many words. Also, very, very good at dealing with things up close. Also, that someone was zooming there.
Ammo.
Excuse me. Excuse me. Ah. I hate that. My bindings are like, I'm pressing Q to try and melee, but it's right next to tab, and so I'm hitting tab by mistake.
I guess either way I win the bet.
Okay. Couple more.
The shotgun reverberates in my chest, shakes me. I don't feel safe. I feel dangerous.
But now, thankfully, I've got an extra weapon, which means when one weapon runs low on ammo, you can switch out to another weapon.
You're a hero.
Alright. How many more hostages? I think there's like a couple more. Also, you can only hold certain amounts of every item.
I don't want. I'm free.
Alright. One more. One more and then we can move on. I thought I turned on auto reload. I really thought I turned on auto reload. Door cannot be opened from this side.
Hanging on the edge of the world, huh?
Done. Alright, let's go. Ah, alright. Almost there. There we are. Most essential enemies out of the way.
Downward.
Doesn't matter if you take damage as you go into the elevator, your health recovers at the start of every level. Now, first new mechanic.
Oh, glowing door. Let's hope the void made it easy with the glowing key, too.
Yep, and that's the mechanic. Colored doors. Not much you can do about that. Oh yes, by the way, your
Key is heart.
keys.
Cute. The squish as the heart slides into my pocket barely registers. Blame the pills or the adrenaline. It feels vaguely like a hand.
Yeah,
That's
your
not good.
keys are hearts.
Open sesame. Since it's still in my hands, seems like I can open as many green doors as I have to.
Okay. Unfortunately for this game, most of this game is this sort of gameplay loop. It is a bit of a shame.
Ammo.
There are a few reviews that I've read about this game, even when it came out, noted that, this game could probably have cut out like
Another heart.
anywhere between maybe 25 to 50% of its levels. And it would have been fine. I really think that this is... There are some elements of the game which feel like they were kind of designed to show off parts of the game, rather than thinking about how they would work within the cohesive experience. Now, typically there'll be games, or those would be levels where there's nothing necessarily of value in terms of the story.
I feel like I should have had a speech prepared. Lost just to save. Just have to make my way through it.
Yeah. So this is a level where there are no hostages. There's only like a handful of levels where there are no hostages.
Your turn. Truth or dare?
Truth.
Why did you stay after I told you?
You feel inevitable. Of course we would meet, of course we would fall in love, of course you would be a vampire and tell me. And of course, I would stay. Who am I to tell the universe that it's wrong? Wait, did I say something wrong?
No, it's just... It's an interesting turn of phrase. I'm going to think over that.
I feel like I messed up.
You didn't. Ask me.
Okay. Truth or dare?
Dare.
Come on.
I can pick it if I want.
Alright, I dare you to tell me the truth about...
No,
It's a loophole.
no.
It's a legitimate
Come
loophole.
on,
It's
you
not my
know
fault
that
the
that's
game didn't
cheating.
account for
You know.
this.
Okay, fine. Go ahead with your little truth dare.
Why did you come back? To Transylvania and the castle. This isn't where you grew up. You had lost everything. What does this place have for you?
Well, it's mine. Maybe the only thing I have left.
Sorry. If I'm going to get to the bottom, which is presumably where this is all coming from, I need to remember some things. Once upon a time, Dracula's name was Janet Drake.
And that... Okay, so I like... This is one of the things that I really like, that really sold me on this game. Throughout the game, throughout this whole game, we're almost exclusively referring to James's ex as Dracula. From the early cutscenes, right at the very start, and even as you go further through the game. But as we find out from from that last particular cutscene, Dracula has a name. Well, they refer to it as a past name. That being Janet Drake. In some ways, it's telling about what kind of, Sorry, I'm trying to remember which way I'm going. It's telling about what the game wants us to understand about Dracula or Janet as a character. What do you mean it doesn't open from this side? I've got to find my way through again. I thought the way through was with the toilets. Okay.
I don't know what's getting worshipped in here, but I appreciate the offerings left behind.
This is just the void being the void.
Shit. Despite the blood dripping from its jaws, I don't think that thing is going to wait around for long.
By the way, that's our first new enemy type. We're in level 5?
Fucking stalls.
Yeah, I agree with the statement. The stalls are the worst. So, Dracula is referred to as Janet Drake once. And only once.
Thank God.
And it's referred to as a past name. It's both telling that, particularly in... Ooh, I've got to be careful here with the
And it's
the
not here.
werewolves. Okay, cool. So, in today's, with how we refer to people, we always refer to people with, we should be referring to with people when we talk with them. When we talk to someone and they say, "This is my name," typically, that's what you say. Okay, your name is this, right? I'll call you that. However, the name Dracula isn't a typical name. Ow. Okay. There we are. Done. Bathroom stalls. So, referring to, just bringing up the fact that James's ex used to be, her name used to be far more, I guess, what we'd call human, but now it's not, is a strong indicator of what they're going for with the character. You'll see more of that idea of someone sort of, I guess, I don't want to use the term giving up on their humanity. It's not exactly...
Twisting and twisting and twisting. And yeah, it's still a bathroom.
Yeah, it's not clear if the game wants to present... Ow, 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 ow. Yeah, it's not clear if the game wants to present non-humans as, well, you make mentions of like leprechauns and stuff like that, but reality is we only get a reference to a couple of other, individuals throughout this story, other named individuals. I'm not going to spoil anything too much. But...
Got ammo.
how do I get through there?
Nice barricade. But it wasn't gonna keep out much.
Save the rest.
Huh.
Nice of someone to leave this here.
Alright, there's our last hostage up that way. No, second to last, actually. Now, in terms of gameplay, there's no mechanics where the game's like, oh, bait and switch, your hostage is actually a vampire. And then you have to deal with fake hostages. The game doesn't want to do that to you. That'd be like, kind of cruel. I think we go out this way, is it? Beautiful. There we go. Yeah, so thankfully there's no need to worry about fake hostages.
I think I saw a werewolf in that fucking bathroom.
Just a tiny little cutscene. It serves really no purpose, but it's there. I will actually say, I was planning on my video, I actually had the intro, I've got the intro sort of fully made out.
Lloyd's got an obsession.
Yeah, and I was using that little saw a werewolf in the bathroom cutscene as part of my intro. I just thought it was like a little ow. Okay. Up. Handgun ammo, beautiful. But I better use the shotty for a while.
No closed doors. Gotta find the hearts to unlock them.
Yeah, part of this game is about just juggling how much ammo you have for any one weapon at a time. That's right. Can't exactly come here. Now hold on.
God, is this actually from the 20s?
The strike
I
breaker.
handled one of these outside of a museum.
Yeah, the strike breaker is the other. So it's the third weapon you see from the from the opening cutscene. In terms of weapons, we might go... Alright, gameplay-wise, it's just a machine gun. 25 rounds, nice and solid. Reload time's a pain, though.
Feel kind of bad for breaking that tower.
Yeah. Areas like that, don't even bother. There'll be points where the game will just throw you stakes and it wants you to use them. Don't try to, like, deny yourself the ability to just stab things. Very important that you just go, if the resource is there, use it. Alright, I think mainly here we just got the key and then that's that. Wow. Okay, I got bullied. Absolutely bullied.
Finally.
Yep, that's the power of the Strike Breaker. In reality, this Strike Breaker is like one of the best guns in the game. In terms of what your weapons overall can do, the Strike Breaker is like up there. Now, this is what I wanted to show off. Where I come across these, I'll show them off. I'll just play the first one and then you can understand why.
Janet, you do much fencing?
Not particularly. Why do you ask?
I just noticed the way you walk into a room. In fencing, you're taught a foot position, way of angling your body that minimizes your service area. Angles you can be attacked from. You do it naturally.
That is an intense observation to make about a new acquaintance, Mr. Savage. Why, have you done much fencing?
No. Been stabbed a few times, though.
So, all of these recorders, like the old, film reel projectors, they will show part of the story between Janet or Dracula, depending on the time that it occurs, and James. They're all super, like, valuable pieces of information.
Only one guy. Okay, I should go back to that fucking path.
Alright.
Void's killing off hostages before I get a chance to save them. Well, they're competent. Either way, it's one last chance to disrupt Dracula's ritual.
Okay. You'll find more projectors along the way, and there'll be certain levels where the projectors will be really obvious. But other levels where not so much. And it makes, you know, it means that the levels you do find the projectors, you know, if you find them, that's all well and good, but you don't have to. The game actually does a very good job of explaining enough about the relationship between James and Dracula, even without needing to find...
shit.
Yeah, the game does a really good job of explaining things without saying, you know, you have to try and find every last piece of lore in order to try and find out what the story is. By the way, these are giant chairs and giant doors.
Fucking bathroom again.
Depend on your computer to get things done. Process data quickly and reliably. Viruses cause your computer to leak or display political messages.
Here's a real high-class politician. Every photograph is perfect. Not a single hair is missing. But at night, post online that with a wink, you can see my oblige. With a perfect role online. Show you got it all on tape, so our boys compromise. Now you're in the missile center, so the hypocrite can hide then.
Oh, and if you're listening to the background music, yeah. The voice actor is the same person who does the music. Same person who's like pretty much the main developer of the game. Certainly there are other people working on this, but this is very much a driven project. Or a project driven by like a handful of people. Oh no.
That'd be kinda pretty if it didn't mean the world was ending.
This effect, we only ever see it like once. It's like here. Don't worry. Innocents are completely invulnerable if you choose to rescue them or take them out.
Void's breaking linear space. I was doing weird shit before, but this is a fun thing of power.
A healthy computer is a strong computer.
Oh, welcome to the new enemy type.
Hate puppets. Wait, you're back?
Puppeteers. Puppeteers like to run away.
I know that fucking guy. Shit.
That's the only fake out, really. Poor guy got squished. What a shame.
There's heaven, there's hell, there's us. And then, in between it all, there's this thin bubble filled with things that hate you. The forces beyond. That's the door that Dracula is opening right now. To get back the power she's owed. We can't travel through the bubble. Maybe even more suicidal than what we're already doing. So I'm stuck with the elevator, going where the void lets me. Floor by floor. It's only going to get worse from here. And why do I feel so fucking good?
Ah, alas. Someone who's basically pushed themselves to the point of breaking down.
More diving. If I wasn't gonna die after all this, I might be worried about my knees.
The pills, the alcohol, the lifestyle, and there's more besides. By the way, welcome to a new environment. We are now in a graveyard. 1, 2, 3, 4 hostages.
Always need ammo. Holy shit, the void's really smashing stuff together.
Okay, I got pretty lucky there. Alright, time to use the shotgun ammo.
Going down.
Locked behind... Yeah, locked behind a blue door. No, please, thank you. No, the dogs are fine. I feel like I could open this door, but for some reason I can't. Yeah, door can't be opened from this side. We have to find another way through. Maybe I've missed it. Knowing my luck, it's probably somewhere. No, that's where I came in from. There we are. Sometimes the game just, it's like...
Bathroom like a Berlin nightclub. Smells about the same, too. Got ammo.
Here we go.
Fantastic.
Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Beautiful. shotgun really does work. Alright, time to get all these hostages.
Lots of hostages here. Doesn't seem like the Void to put all of its eggs in one basket.
I want to go home. Thank you.
Emma,
Save the rest.
Save me.
Yeah, this is one of those levels where you just gotta run. Run for the exit. Thank you. Ooh, that was cutting it close.
I think I get it. I'm looking at the end of the world with a lightness in my chest. Because I can finally know. Do you know how hard it is? Living good. Dying good is a moment. You do something, you bleed your goodness onto the universal ledger. You're a good person. You know you're a good person. Anyone can die good. I'm doing it. Living good is forever. That's how it feels. Yes to the right things, no to the wrong things. Day after day, choices reinforced bit by painstaking bit. It's like chiseling your soul into a new shape. It's fucking slow. But here we are. At a hole in the fabric of everything that is. A hole I get to close. I'll have to wake up tomorrow and wonder if I'm going to do the right thing again. James Savage, drug addict, gets to die good. What a mercy.
Again, another piece of writing that I really like.
Save the rest.
It's the same graveyard, but more cohesive.
Yeah, the idea of living good is hard. It's forever. It's, in a way, it's really kind of true. It's incredibly hard to go, you know, say to yourself at the end of each day, yes, I said yes to the right things, no to the wrong things. I did the right thing. I lived good. Doing it once, making the right call in one moment.
There's a small town in Romania where the mausoleum's only open from the outside. Guess they knew something that we don't.
Yeah. Saying, yes, I can do the right thing in a single moment. Surprisingly easy. Saying, yes, I can do the right thing every moment. Much harder.
Save the rest.
Now, I'm pretty sure here's where they introduced the new enemy. I thought it was. There's a new enemy that gets introduced in the graveyard levels. Actually, I'm going to be honest. There's two new enemies that get introduced in the graveyard levels. There's not actually a lot of enemy variety in this game. You've seen zombies, or mummies.
A wall composed of pure void. I'm gonna enjoy taking that apart.
Yeah, you see mummies, you see werewolves. And you've seen angels from inside the tutorial, actually. So that's 3 enemies already revealed. Oh, and then we saw the puppeteer as well. Yeah, the puppeteer got revealed as well. So that's 4. So there's another couple of enemies that get revealed in the graveyard. In, like, the graveyard areas. And then I think there's a couple more...
Yeah, I don't like the bleeding cross.
Thank God.
Yeah, there's a couple more
Nice. Ammo.
in... Actually, I'm trying to think if it's even a couple more.
Bleeding cross or crucifix usually means an act of blasphemy or imitation. Either one means I'm in dangerous territory.
That was all my stakes. Alright, I've got to go this way then.
Oh yeah.
Who's giggling? Yeah, there's one hostage over here, but I need a red key to get through. Alright, where's my red key access? I think that's the way I came in. Yeah, I'm gonna have to go just here. There we go.
Got ammo.
Okay. Time to go. Alright, almost there. Okay, there we go. Just trying to think. Happy returns. That's right. Levels aren't necessarily... Like, you'll come back to certain things. Oh, yeah. Mollies.
Holy Flame in a Revolution friendly bottle. Couldn't have mixed it better.
I'm going to try and avoid using mollies while I'm playing through. Unless they've done some work towards... Yeah, unless they've done some work towards fixing how the Molotov particle effects can affect your game.
Peekaboo to you too, motherfucker.
Too many Molotovs on screen at once will start, like, destroying my graphics card. Oh, jeez Louise, we're swinging at each other there.
Now it's treating pieces of the cemetery like toys.
Thank you.
Alright.
Great. This looks like a recipe for a bad night.
Whoop. I accidentally stabbed
Or a
him.
good one. This kid knows what I'm talking about.
Yeah, it's not a huge deal if you take out 1 or 2 hostages. Like, in all honesty, there are 2 endings you can get. And the endings are already determined by the number of hostages you save versus the number of hostages you kill. Huh.
Found ammo.
I don't have a green key, do I? Yeah, I need to find a green key.
The more I see, the more this graveyard feels familiar. Look at the blood and the guns and them chunks of motel burned here. Huh.
Alright, how much shotgun ammo do I have? Probably better off still using this.
The idea that this place has a sense of humor does not fill me with comfort.
I'll go. I'll go.
Alright, well, out of the way, that's... That's this level sort of almost done, actually. I think there's just the green door, 1 more hostage to go, and then... I think that's about it. Yeah, see, there's 1 more. Oh yeah, I was just thinking as well. I mentioned before, you know, there's like probably... There's like 1 or 2 more enemies. Yeah, definitely after the graveyard sections are done, or after you get through to the next sections after the graveyard, I should be more specific. There's 2 additional enemy types. So all in all, there's about 8 different enemies that you
There's
fight.
always a chance we hit the bottom and the monster doesn't want to fight. Fuck if I know what I'll do if that happens, but the possibility is there. That's why I tell myself in the bad times, Dracula isn't unreasonable. She knows what she's doing is wrong, so that makes it better. If she doesn't want to fight, she doesn't want to stop. I don't know what comes next.
And you'll learn more about why James feels that way as you get through the game. obviously there is history between James and Dracula. How that history looks isn't necessarily apparent now, but you can tell already that James is like, if I can avoid doing this...
Well, damn, this is new.
By the way, that's the first new enemy type. Casters. They like to teleport, and they throw ranged attacks at you.
Oh, they teleport. Fuck.
Also, where are they? I've got to show one off. They like to stand up on surfaces where you can't reach them. They really like to stand up on those surfaces.
Headstones only give me so much cover. I gotta dodge.
Yeah. So, as you saw there, I was in slow-mo. Slow-mo diving doesn't help. Doesn't give you invulnerability frames. These casters and the angels are meant to teach you to try and roll through situations.
No. Thank God.
Your shots can't really follow me. I can roll right under them.
However, if you get hit by the shots, you take a ton of damage. Oh, and hostages are... Yeah, hostages are immune to damage from enemies. It's only your attacks that can hurt them. Some levels... Okay. Overall, I think the music's really good. But there are some areas where it's just like... Things can be a little flat. Ah, missed.
Hell yeah.
If I can get this game working properly on controller, I will. Makes it a lot easier to play.
Kind of place you meet the devil.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I was mistaken. Enemies can be killed by... Oh, sorry. Hostages can be killed by enemy attacks. For some reason, I thought they couldn't. But they can be, which is...
Taking the scenic route.
If it happens, it's, like, frustrating. Thankfully, there's also, like... There's no achievement, really, for Oh, jeez. Too many enemies. Sorry, I'm stuck. I'm stuck. Door stuck. Trying to heal up here. Alright, well, might as well burn through the mollies.
Taking the scenic route.
Can we stop with them running forward at me? Yeah, you can see how the particles like kind of go crazy. Also, you take damage from the fire. Really lovely. Excuse me, lady. Alright.
I'm not usually taken by surprise. But I don't know what you are. My mind has a tendency to grab onto things. Turn them over and over again until they make sense. Sometimes it isn't good for me. But that's old news. I think about the veil. I think about the dress. Simple, formal, torn. I think about the blood. I think about the ball of energy called from elsewhere. And how exhausted she looks after it's been fired. Before she does it again. The story starts to assemble itself in my mind. About a damned bride whose suitor drags her to hell. And she can't stop loving him anyway. Is that your story? Do I see you? Or am I just projecting a little bit?
Oh, the writing is so... It's just like really, really, really good. By the way, I'm going to wrap things up there in terms of the gameplay. The writing does a lot to try and capture the nuance of trying to understand other people. From what we see of James trying to understand the things that he sees in the void, and how he understands the relationship between himself and Dracula, both in its past state, in its present state, and what it could be in its future state. We also learn more about James as an individual, and the writing is so sharp on that. It's one of those things with noir stories, or any story that involves noir style writing. Again, throwbacks to Max Payne. Max himself is like a drug addict, alcoholic, worn down. Hence why they also use the pills there. But your writing has to be sharp. It has to really set a mood and a tone. It's not necessarily about being dreary or dark or gritty. Noir writing doesn't always have to have that. But it's got to have a certain level of descriptiveness, a certain level of fluidity with how it describes things, and how it balances out fluidity in how it describes things with sharpness. Sometimes it's just really hammering in onto like a tiny little detail. And other times it plants an idea in your mind and lets you sit on it. It may not come up again, such as with that particular cutscene with the caster. Is James correct in his assumption, or is he projecting? Who knows? But it's a way for him to try and work through what he's seen, while also recognizing that he's done it in the past in ways that are not necessarily healthy for himself. alas, I think that's where I will call things on the levels. Would you believe that's about a quarter of the way through the game? That is like 1/4 of the game done. So, I'll continue on with this next week, hence why you can probably tell it's going to be in 4 parts. I'm hoping each part is short enough to make it a decent enough listening experience. Even if the visuals aren't that appealing, listening to the way the game flows, I hope it draws you in enough to want to encourage you to give it a shot, or at least for yourself. But that's where I will call things. So if you've been watching along, or you're watching after the fact, as always, I would like to thank you very much for your time, and I do hope you have a wonderful day. Also, little teaser about something that comes up. Though, if you have seen the media that's been put out for El Paso elsewhere, you might have a good idea already of who this is. Still, I'll leave it there. Thank you again.